Hello, and welcome to Pro Trader Strategies Market Commentary for Friday, April the 8th. My name is Eric Wilkinson. Some of you may recognize me as the Wolfman from CNBC, Fox Business, or even the Wall Street Journal, where I've commented on everything from economic to geopolitical and market analysis. Please keep in mind that everything that we talk about in these daily market commentaries is not a solicitation to buy or sell any of these securities or strategies. At the end of the day, I'm here to teach you some different strategies that you can implement into your own portfolios, but please do that in your own way. The reason why I can't give you a recommendation on a particular stock or strategy is because I don't know your risk parameters. I don't know what's in your portfolios. Therefore, what I'm doing could be counterintuitive to what you are already doing. Having that out of the way, let's get this on. Before I talk about the economic data today, crude oil pushing higher, up $2.30 right now. I talked about this yesterday in the daily market commentary that although we had a drawdown, the market was moving lower, drawdown of almost 5 million barrels. Market was moving lower, and I said that this was not a good scenario. We have a drawdown, weakening dollar. That should really push crude oil higher just on the weakening dollar alone. Today we're seeing the results of that. Major news outlets are talking about, the possibility or the hopes that there's going to be a turning off or tightening of the spigot over in the Middle East. And that really is just kind of fodder, I guess. They're trying to really figure out why the market's rallying, and they probably opened a drawer and picked out the last or the best scenario for why this would be rallying. That really isn't the case. Somebody even mentioned that shutdown of the Keystone Pipeline, which is only about 480,000 barrels, but that really isn't the catalyst of this. This is the weakening dollar showing up in crude oil. Global economies of scale aren't doing that great. Some people are even talking about, the hopes that the global economies are starting to fire on all, or starting to pick up the pace. But if you look at the economic data that we got overnight from the European side over across the pond, we've got the CPI came in line with expectations for the Swiss. And if we look at Great Britain, the manufacturing, the industrial production, all lower. Housing starts in Canada lower, and wholesale inventories in here was the only thing that really looked very good, and that was just not even a widely looked at segment of the market. Just because if inventories get lowered, it doesn't necessarily mean people are buying that or that the manufacturers are producing. They are just getting rid of inventory. So it's a little bit of a twisted number. Inventories can lower. It doesn't mean they're producing, and it doesn't mean they're moving a lot of it. They could really be cutting back on production and just lowering inventory. So that one's kind of a little bit of one that is difficult to look at, and not many people really watch that one. But like I said, crude oil pushing higher, I say, off of the weakening dollar. On to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ on the lows of the day, testing yesterday's lows right now, down 18 points now. This NASDAQ is leading the way. We were up earlier this morning, but we have really started coming off. We had Fed member Dudley speaking this morning. He was talking about continual and gradual rate increases, and doesn't really see any changes, kind of echoing what Janet Yellen said yesterday. I don't know that was really the damper on the market, but the overall economies just aren't doing that well, and I think that is the catalyst to the sell-off here today. As you can see here, E-mini S&Ps up only about 5 points off of the lows that we saw overnight, but still NASDAQ leading the way, E-mini S&Ps positive right now. If we look at this daily chart, or the breakdown of the daily chart with 15-minute segments, this is a little bit more concise. We are at the point of control for the last several days. The market, like I said early this morning, overnight rallied, but basically off the economic data we started seeing really put a wet blanket on the overall markets, and we're starting to come off. that is about it for today. I don't have a whole lot going on. I am looking at covering this ADM trade that I had on the April 5 weeklies, and I had done the 35.5, 34.5 put spread in there and sold it for about 26 cents. So I'm looking about 50% of my max profit right now on that. So I'm trying to look to get out of that at around 13 cents. I haven't really seen the opportunity right now. The markets are a little bit wide, so haven't been able to cover that. Today, we are going to be doing a similar situation with the put spreads on the webinar this afternoon at 4 o'clock Eastern, 4:15 Eastern, and 1 o'clock Pacific. So go to ProTraderStrategies.com. You can sign up for that. We did one on call spreads, short call spreads. We're going to be doing one on short put spreads. It should be a great one. Last time we had a lot of participation in that. The reason why I like a lot of people in there is because you guys give me some ideas to look at, and it gives me the opportunity to go through my steps, the ones that I haven't already vetted for the webinar. So I can show you, you throw it out to me and I go through the steps and the process to figure out whether or not it fits with the parameters of the strategy. So go to ProTraderStrategies.com, sign up for that. That's all I got for you today. If you can't take that, take it easy.